Liz, Michael, welcome back. Welcome back, viewers, all my elite thinkers out there. So, I wanted to say today I bought myself a set of Allen keys, right? And I can't explain to you just how happy these have made me. It's so simple, but I want to say something, right? And this is for all the women and men out there that understand this. We see things very differently and place value on things very differently, or no, the same value but on different things. So, for example, men with motorcycles look at motorbike helmets the same way that women look at handbags. Right? Think about that. Okay, so now that you get that, these Allen keys, for all the women out there, if you want to get your man a gift, it's just a little gift. They don't cost much. This cost me like £3. You can get them a set of Allen keys and just say, there, babe, I saw these and I thought you'd like these. Right. Even if he already has a set of these, the smile he'll put on his face and the feelings he'll get just from having a nice set of Allen keys, yeah, I believe would be the same as him running you a nice hot bath. How would that make you smile? If you came home and your man had run you a nice hot bath, bubble bath, you know, and just said, babe, I ran you a bath, like, there you go. Put your feet up, enjoy it, have a good long soak, and smile. This is what this makes me feel like as a man. And I can't explain that. I don't know why that is. It just is what it is. So for all the ladies out there, and you're thinking, what should I get my man a gift? Just a random gift. Get him a set of Allen keys. Even if he already has a set of Allen keys, it'll probably make him smile even more. Because it'll be, you know, you always want more Allen keys. I know that sounds silly. Michael, do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but if anyone wants to buy me a present, they might buy me Allen keys. You can buy me a drill. Buy me a drill.
Yeah, a drill, a power drill, anything. Like, I know it sounds so silly, but like I said before about like helmets and handbags, honestly, as a biker and you see other bikers and you got your helmets, you do. And then I thought about it and I thought, yeah, it's the same way women look at handbags anyway. That's something I just thought I'd share as we get into it. But let's actually get into tonight's episode. So, right, Michael sent a video to the group chat the other day, and I loved it because it completely debunked one of our previous episodes. We've done a previous episode on the Elite Thinking Club about flat earth conspiracy and things like Dicyanin and how we believe that certain secrets are being withheld from us. However, there is also, hands up, the possibility that we could be very wrong and misled by like false news or some people's ideologies. And, you know, I mean, what they say kind of makes sense, but when someone actually approaches it with facts and science, you kind of have to admit sometimes maybe we were wrong. So Michael sent this video to the group chat, and it's great because there's a guy explaining exactly why flat earth is complete bullshit and how the schooling system may have actually failed us, or we failed not learning what they were trying to tell us. So Michael, I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, and please enlighten us and the viewers watching right now how exactly the flat earth conspiracy is a load of baloney and how it shouldn't even be a thing. We should just squash it right now. And all of the flat earth believers and all those that used to believe or wanted to believe, like myself, hands up and say, that was wrong. All right.
This is going to...
Before I do, let me just grab a prop. So I'm going to mute quickly just because it's around some other stuff. So let me just grab the...
Okay. Liz, have you ever bought someone a set of Allen keys before? Bought a guy?
Yeah, I have. Actually.
Oh.
I bought myself a set.
Right. So I've got a ball.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
If you're not... Okay, wait, hold on. Michael, you're going to have to verbally, say it because of the listeners. But if you're watching us right now on the YouTube, happy days, you'll see this. Right, go for it, Michael.
So a lot of people, a lot of flat earthers, when they're talking about a ball, they'll have a tennis ball. So what they'll do is they say, right, this is the globe, because it's round like a globe. And then they'll grab something like this and pour it on it, which obviously it runs off.
Yeah.
And they go, well, if we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour like this, then how, like, and they do it like that and they go, oh, I just showed you, it comes off.
You're right.
But what a lot of people forget and what they don't take into account is that this ball doesn't have its own gravity.
Right.
Because the gravity on this ball is our gravity.
Right.
So this ball isn't big enough to represent the Earth because it's on the Earth. So it is controlled by our gravity. Yeah. That's when they start trying to argue gravity. Like, it's not really real.
Yeah.
And it's not a thing. And that we're actually... So they say that we're on a flat plane that's actually dropping at, I think, 9.8 meters second or something like that. Right. So that's why gravity is, because we're dropping down and then it's just meters.
So just for those in the right now, sorry to interrupt there because they can't see it. Imagine the ball of the Earth, the globe is my fist. If I poured water onto my fist, this is what flat earthers say. If you pour water onto your fist, the water would just run off and fall down. But that's easy to explain here on this realm because we're on Earth. So therefore gravity is pulling the water off. So you can't really use that as an argument simply because go on. Right, you guess it, we get it.
And in space because obviously we haven't got a spaceship. So carry on, Michael.
Yeah. Yes. And then what he also says and let's say this is a flat Earth.
Yeah.
If you put water on this on Earth, it will still fall over the side.
Right. So you're now showing like a flat surface like this, and you're saying if I pour water on this, the water would run off the edge. That's what you're saying, right? That's what flat earthers say. The water would run off the edge. Yeah. Okay.
Which is why they need to say that Antarctica has got a wall around it.
Okay.
So at the edge of the Earth, Antarctica is a big ice wall. It holds all the water in. That's on some of them. On some of them, the water's coming flowing off of it.
Right.
But so that's why they say Antarctica is around the edges, because you get past that, and then this is where it differs for different flat earthers, because then some say beyond that is another ring where only elite people go, and then beyond that is like aliens, and I mean you can go on forever with that.
Okay.
How that?
Pardon? What level? Oh, you got to be like top level.
Okay, I've got that.
No, top level people. Yeah.
Okay. So this idea, this idea that the Earth is flat like a dish, and there's water on it, and it would tip off the edge, or there's an ice wall that protects it inside, is only believed by some, and that it falls off is believed by others. Yet every scientist, I think you've said this in the previous episode, Michael, every scientist all agree the same thing, whereas flat earthers have very scattered or disparate ideas of what it is. No, they haven't really got a nailed down idea. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some of them, when they can't explain something, they just say it's a higher power.
Right. Okay. So
then, I mean, that's hard to argue. When you get to a point where you're like, well, why does this happen? Oh, it's God. And I've said this on a previous episode. So some people say like the stars and stuff like that, because if you take a telescope, like this is stuff you can do. If you take a telescope and look at another planet, or look at the moon, everything else is round. You can see everything else is round. So, in our solar system, why would it be everything else is round and we're the only flat? But then they say that's light. But then all you've got to do is grab a telescope, go outside, and you can see other planets.
Yes.
You can see them yourself.
Yes, you can. You can see other planets, and they are all circular, all round. Now, this is what some flat earthers will argue as well. How the stars don't change.
Well, that's well, they do change, because if you got someone, I mean, I'm not very good with geography, so I'd have to look at Google for this. But say England's up here, we're looking up. If you get someone in Australia, the southern hemisphere, and both take a picture, you'll have different stars.
Yes.
The only star that we will share would be the North Star, and that's because it's one side of it. So you imagine that's over there. So as we're going around,
yes,
this is going around as well.
Yes.
That is the only one that sticks to it.
Yeah.
But But when you talk about, so this is jumping like to the end of what the guy was talking about. But where we're going around the sun,
Yeah.
this is why we have different zodiac signs.
Yes.
Because you won't see a January zodiac sign in November.
Yeah.
Because we're at a different part of it.
That's right. Because we're orbiting the sun and we are also spinning at a very fast speed. However, the only reason it's fast is because here on Earth, it is fast to us. But out there in space, it's very slow, isn't it?
Yeah. So what he was saying is, so our ball is going at 1,000 miles an hour.
Right. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, or we're moving at 1,000 miles an hour?
We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, yep.
But it takes a day, so 24 hours, to get from this point back to this point.
Yes.
And the world is 24,000 miles wide.
Yes.
So for every hour, it's only traveling 1,000 miles.
Yes.
So that's another thing they can't get into their heads, the scale of it.
Yeah.
So if you spin this, but for me to spin it the same sort of thing, I'd have to spin this so slowly.
Yeah.
So relative to what it is. And then when you're doing it relative, like if I did 24,000 divided by this and then move this at like 0.01 millimeters a second.
Yeah.
That's the kind of scale it is.
Yeah, because, right, so we are moving very fast, like 1,000 miles an hour. And you're right, Michael, because I like that you've put those stats, 24,000 like miles or diameter of the Earth or whatever, circumference of the Earth. At the scale that it's at in space, like with the distance from the sun to the Earth, yeah, it does make sense that it takes that long for a full rotation. And because as far as scale goes, as far as like, yeah, the scale is going to take that long to do that. And that's why maybe when we look at the stars, people feel like, or the flat earthers believe it hasn't changed. The stars don't change. You're right. The stars don't change. They're not meant to change. Why would the stars change? You're seeing it from where you are on the little globe that you're on, rotating around the sun at the speed that you are. And then remember, these stars are further away than the sun. Do you get what I mean? So it isn't like they're going to move anytime soon. They are miles away, like light years away. So in actual fact, they're so far away. What you're seeing right now, they might not even exist at the current time right now. Right now, they might actually be burned out. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So when you're talking about the light getting to the Earth,
yeah.
When they talk about light years, so I didn't understand what this was to begin with, like years ago. And this when I was watching like Star Trek and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they go at like a certain speed and they say, "Oh, it's this many light years." So a light year is how fast the light goes. So it's something stupid, like 250,000 miles a second.
Yeah.
So a light year is 250,000 miles a second. So if it's 10 light years, so it's not years like our years.
No.
It's years.
Light years.
So it is totally different. Yeah. So the light years is different. But the reason for it is, if we say, oh, that planet is, like if we put it in years, it would be something stupid like 50 million years. So to cut that down, they use light years.
Okay.
So it's easier to measure time. So you're not saying all these numbers. It's like the Graham's number. Yeah, the Graham's number is the biggest number imaginable at the time, and the only thing we know about it is it ends in 6.
So we say light years like we would explain dog years. There's no point giving dogs
basically,
the same time frame as human years. Otherwise, we'd be talking, well, we're just understanding dog years, and it's the same as understanding light years, isn't it? We're just using a different measurement in relation to...
Yeah, so it's... Or measurement, like 1 mile is what, 1,000 meters? No, meters.
Yeah, it's meters, yeah, it's 1 kilometer.
So instead of saying like...
No, 1 kilometer...
That's 9,000.
1 kilometer is a flat earth. To the flat earth. Right, hold on. Okay, so... Elite Vegan Club. We're great. Right.
I don't.
So-
Well, yeah, but we were talking about measurements. I know that. But
So
Right, let's go back.
flat earthers cannot really have a leg to stand on when it's really explained to you, in a sense that the scale of the earth in space in relation to its orbit of the sun in space cannot be proven here on earth. You can't explain how water is on earth the same way you explain how water falls off a ball. You can't do it on a dish because there is no dish, because we have northern and southern hemisphere. If the flat earth was real, half the world would be on one side and half the world would be on the other side, because in relation to space, you'd have the northern stars and then the southern stars. Do you get what I mean? Now, the reason that we have the zodiac signs is because as the earth spins and rotates round the sun, we are doing a full movement in space, and that's why at certain periods of that movement we see the different zodiac stars in the sky. That's why we
and then it also explains why we get different weathers like summer, winter, autumn, because we don't go around a perfect circle. It's more like an egg shape. So when we're closer to the sun, when we're closer to the sun, I mean, weirdly, it's the opposite way around, I believe.
Yeah.
But that big circle that we do, so we go around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour.
Right.
But it's such a big, imagine this is the sun. We go around it at such a long way away. It takes 365 days. That's why we can't feel it. And everything is relative as well. So, we feel moving. Well, we don't, because we're on our gravity and we can feel it.
Yeah.
Another thing they say.
Go
on. Another thing they say. So let's say we're up here in England.
Yep.
We're walking upright.
Yes.
So people in Australia, they think somehow they're walking upside down.
Right.
So they'll be upside down. But they then fold, because this is where they go, oh no, gravity's not real. But even though you're there, your gravity is towards the center.
Yes.
So you're not walking upside down. It's upside down to us. Like if we put them on it, it would look like that.
Yeah.
But relative to where they are, it makes sense.
Of course.
But is it that thing of scale?
Yes. All right. Well, Michael, thank you so much for that. What I will do is I will attach a link to that video. If you can send me that video's link in the group chat, I'll add it to the description of this episode. So that way people can actually just hear the man himself explain it a lot more simpler than we just tried to do.
Yeah. Or there is a YouTube guy I watch. It's called Simon Down.
Right.
So he talks about all of this stuff anyway. And he watches Flat Earthers videos and then he'll argue it.
Perfect.
He never debated one, but said he's not going to debate against facts.
All right. So I will add that description to the episode for people to see. And I hope you enjoyed it. Right. That is interesting. And another thing on energy fields, which we've spoke about in the past, I discovered something that really is magical. And I say magical, there's a lot of science to explain it, and I don't really know the science. However, all I'm seeing is the results. So we spoke before about the sonic bloom and how the guy in, I think it was America, discovered that the bird's frequency that they sing at first thing in the morning is an hour before the sun. The reason they do that is to alert the plants to start blooming early. Therefore, they don't lose an hour's sunlight. They're already open when the sun comes up, and therefore they receive the sunlight. But the birds sing at a certain frequency, and that frequency is similar to classical music. So what this farmer did is he put up massive speakers around his crop fields and just blared out classical music all day. What he did was maximize on his crop. He had so much more crop than he did in any previous years, just because the plants were exposed to the frequency sound. Now, what I found is incredible, or it actually found me, should I say, and that is called the electroculture. Have you guys, Liz, Michael, heard of the electroculture?
I'm sure you did it before,
Mm-hmm.
But
I have mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Not how I'm going to explain it right now.
okay.
I've mentioned it before because I like orgone pyramids. Orgone pyramids are shaped like a pyramid. And inside these orgone pyramids, there's normally crystals with copper. And what they do is they absorb energy and, make a magnetic field around them. So what they do is create positive energy in your household. You can place these on your bedside table, dot them around your house. Drake, the rapper, swears by orgone pyramids. That's actually what got me to buy one. So I don't know if you can see this, those that are watching on the YouTube. If you're just listening to a recorded episode, I'll have to explain it. It is a glass pyramid, and inside it is crystals on the bottom with copper filings filtering through. And then right at the top, there is a quartz crystal, a solid one, wrapped with copper wire. And what it does is it absorbs energy from the top and expels it from the bottom. Well, what has that got to do with sonic bloom? Well, all I was saying is this orgone pyramid is what I've spoke about in the past. Now, the electroculture, alongside with the sonic bloom, is what people who are growing plants and growing big crops are starting to discover with electromagnetic fields. If you create the same effect of an orgone pyramid within the soil of the plants, you will maximize the growth of the crop. So you can get 5 times the size cucumbers, 5 times the size cabbages, 5 times the size tomatoes, and so on. Now, this is becoming really popular, not just with growers of plants in like the fields and the farmers, alongside with the sonic bloom, people with their household plants are doing it too. How does it work? I don't know. I've only just discovered this, but I will be putting a link to the description of where I discovered it. It's called cultivateelevate.com. Now, I have done a bit of research and it is for the beginners. So what I'm going to try and do now is show how this works. What you want to do is get yourself like a bamboo stick or a stick from your garden. As long as it's straight, it's fine. And then what you're going to do is the same as the orgone pyramid at the top there, using the quartz crystal. You're going to take copper wire and wrap it around the bamboo stick, and then place the bamboo stick so that the bottom of the copper wire is in the soil and the top is sticking out. And then it uses the atmospheric energy to channel into the soil. So it will look something like this. So I'm using this bungee thing I've got to try and explain what I'm trying to say or show. Right, here we go. Right. Sorry, Liz, what was that? Can you see that?
Microphone, because I can't see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Right, so what you'll do is put the bottom of the wire in the soil and put the top sticking out. Now, you want to coil it around so it generates energy as it goes around. You could just use a dead straight copper wire, but it won't work the same because you need the coil to make it like, I don't know, some sort of like battery or energy or flow. And yeah, if you're in a northern hemisphere, you want it to go clockwise. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, you want it to go anti-clockwise to work with the electromagnetic fields of the energy of the sky or whatever, the earth. And plant it in your soil.
So if you're a flat earther, it doesn't work.
Yeah, if you believe in flat earth, it won't work for you. But I've also got a little description here to explain what is electroculture. So electroculture is an ancient practice of increasing yields utilizing certain materials to harvest the Earth's atmospheric energy. This was presented in 1749 by Abe Nolet. This energy is always present and all around us, also known as chi, prana, life force. When using electroculture, there is no need for the use of pesticides, manure, or fertilizers. This is primarily why this information was suppressed. All you need is sun, the clouds, the rain, the nitrogen in the air, and the ability to harness atmospheric energy. These atmospheric antennas can be created from materials such as wood, copper, zinc, and brass. When adding these atmospheric antennas to your garden, soil, or farm, they will amplify your yields, combat frost and excessive heat, reduce irrigation, reduce pests, and increase the magnetism of your soil, leading to more nutrients in the long run.
why are we not doing this? I'm going to do it in my garden because I need my plants to grow.
Yeah, 100%. And it made me think about how, like, you know, certain shopping supermarkets won't accept certain size fruits and vegetables. They always keep it a certain way. Maybe that's why a lot of farmers probably do know this, but don't do it because the supermarkets won't buy their produce. However, if you're growing your own, definitely do it because you will maximize on your yields. It is what it is. It exists and it's been around since the 1700s. Okay.
I might get two of the same plants, put them a little bit far apart, but one of them with it in, one of them without, see what happens.
Definitely. I'm putting the link to in the description anyway to this. Shout out to the right hand brain, me listening because I want to give my window plant babies their best life. 100%. I'm definitely going to start doing it because I only just discovered this today and I just thought it'd be so good to let everybody else know about it. So let's all do it together. Electroculture. You can find cultivateelevate.com. They've got, like I just read that from their website right there, and they've got videos explaining everything. Electroculture for beginners, and it really is that straightforward. There's pictures of people doing it already, and you can see the results of their plants, and it obviously makes sense. Like, how does electroculture antenna work? The antenna harvests the energy of the earth through the series of vibration and frequency, such as rain, wind, and temperature fluctuations. These antennas lead to stronger plants, more moisture for the soil, and reduced pests infestations. This one of many reasons we have not been taught about this ancient practice. Yeah. And then there's loads of Q&A. Can I just use copper pipe instead of making an antenna? What type of wood should I use? Does electroculture work on indoor plants? All that good stuff. So
drop the WhatsApp chat as chat, not chat. We don't have a WhatsApp chat. Chat because I need to do this because sometimes I'm really good at looking after plants, but sometimes I'm not. And because of the weather, we had so much rain, it's kind of killed a load of my plants that I've been growing in the garden. I've got my tomatoes, but my courgettes haven't come through. My peppers are starting to, but yeah, I definitely need to do this copper. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you, Liz. Yeah, I'm with you because I've got avocados on the go at the moment. I don't know, they take years before they produce avocados, but I just want to grow them because I like the look of the plant. And yeah, house plants are very difficult to grow because they're not exposed to the outdoor elements like wind and rain and temperature. So therefore, it doesn't grow as strong as it should because it's domesticated in a way. But the atmospheric energy is still in your home. This electromagnetic field is flowing everywhere. So for you to use it, pardon me, like we should be, 100%. And it doesn't, I believe, just work on plants. I feel like every living thing is governed by these electromagnetic fields. And if some people wear copper bracelets, you know?
Yeah, well, we said this before. Everything's energy.
Yeah, some people have copper spoons that they stir their tea with, or, you know, even just drink out of copper straws, or they have copper cups. They actually drink from copper cups. There's got to be something to that, you know?
Oh, you're going to make me spend loads of money now. I'm going to get off this and for copper online.
There's a lady from the viewers, shout out to the right-handed brain. She said, I put orgonite in my plants for orgonite energy. And yeah, there's Andrea saying copper hats on our heads while we meditate. Yeah, so there's people that actually have the pyramid shape copper hats that they put on when they meditate because they believe that the energy, well, they don't believe it, they probably have shown that the energy gets brought through them. You know, I suppose all this has been around for a long time, but society has somehow managed to make people that walk around with these copper hats on their heads and do all this stuff come across like crazy, or they look stupid, or why are we?
We're not conditioned to see it as part of our daily lives and stuff, because we're kind of conditioned with the get up in the morning, wash your face, clean your teeth. We don't have that added in part of our day. Oh, put your copper hat on and meditate and level up and get your energy up. We don't do that, do we? I wasn't taught that as a kid.
No.
I've learned stuff as an adult.
But you could hide it. You could put it in a cap like this. So you could put the copper in the top.
Well, I suppose you should just have the strength just to walk around with it, and just like if anyone says, "Well, why are you wearing that?" Just educate them. Be like, "I'm doing this because this is for she wanted to see." So this isn't actually a copper one. This is just me showing how it's meant to be. So you just wrap the coil around some bamboo and then stick the bamboo in the soil with one end in the soil. So let's say that the soil top's here. This is inside, and then this bit will be sticking out the top. And that's all you need to do. And then watch the magic happen as your plants grow. And it isn't placebo. This is real. So again, the link will be in the description of this episode. And happy plant growing and yield growing. Let's see some giant peppers. Let's see some giant tomatoes. Let's see some giant watermelons. Let's really, really pay attention to how we should be having nutrient-full fruits and vegetables. However, because of the current living conditions where this education isn't really given to us, it's, we just have to discover it. But when you do, it's what you choose to do with it.
And
so
on those things,
yeah,
once you do it, post pictures of it in our Discord group.
Yes, so we have, good shout, Michael. We have got a Discord channel for ETC After Dark, and that's what we're planning on creating, to have conversations that we can't have on mainstream media, but we should have. You know why. And that is there. So if you want to join us, come over to our Discord channel. It's Elite Thinking Club After Dark, and look forward to that. Also, just want to celebrate. We were at 440 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Liz, Michael, and viewers, we want to thank you so much for that. That's a really, really big achievement for us.
That many
Yeah.
Hey.
We are very grateful. We started organically, and to be at where we're at now, and all the episodes we've done, we've been going for 3 years. It's just a really, really big thank you to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. And that's just the YouTube. But I'm not even aware of the numbers who are listening in on Apple or Google podcasts channels or Amazon podcasts. So we really want to thank you guys. So yeah, thank you very much.
That too.
Yeah. So how
it's getting close.
Yeah. How do we get there? So we talk about everything and everything. We explore. We are just here to critically think and help others critically think. And hopefully on our journey through life, we can discover things that we need to know or should have known or not miss out on. That's what life's about. Like, if you see it and you do it, and happy days, that's what we're trying to share here. So, right.
You know what I love? Can I?
Of course you can.
Something that we spoke about throughout the past few years, and when this started, I've always said it, like, it kept me sane, Jules, because of the madness that was going on in the world. And it was just nice just to pop on and see people's faces and actually just ramble on and just talk and blah, blah, blah. But I've learned a lot, but there's been some things that we've spoke about before, and my view has changed, or my view has grown on that, because things have changed, or something else has come to light, or something's been debunked, like what Michael's done tonight, with this video and like chatting about the flat earth stuff. And I love it, because some stuff that when I watch the old ones back, which I do because I find them really entertaining, and it's just, I watch them back and I think I've changed my thought on that now.
Well,
My knowledge on that thing, I'm like, oh my God, why did I say that? But then I looked now and I think, but since then I've learned so much about that particular topic we spoke about. And there's some episodes I might not have said much on certain topics, or you might not have said much on certain topics. But now you say more about it, or I say more about it, because we've learned about it. And I love that. I love the ramblings have turned into a lot of growth. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I love that, Liz, and you're absolutely right. I feel the same. I watched some old episodes back and just cannot believe the way I was, which is fine, because all it is growth. It's just about growth. You'll see it in yourself when you hear something, a topic about something, whatever your current belief is about it, that's what you're going with. We're not trying to like preach from the rooftops about something. We're just here to explore it. And you're right, there could be moments like tonight when what we were exploring before, what a load of shit. Like, just, you know.
I thought that. But God, no, I don't like my actual opinion on that, or I don't like my view on that then. But at that time, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I was in a different, complete mindset. And also now I've learned more about a particular topic, or I just love seeing the growth. I just love also seeing like how I've expanded on my thought process on certain things that you guys have brought to the table that I wouldn't have actually thought about, or I wouldn't have considered, or I would never have even known about. And like, there's some rabbit holes we've spoke about. I've not even been down that rabbit hole yet. I'm not even on the field, let alone the rabbit hole. That just kind of opened me up to a lot of stuff. And I just think it's good. It's good to change your views, and it's good to also, when the facts change, you change your opinion, because different facts, and we debate it and stuff. And I think it's really healthy, and I think it's good. So
love that. So
I've got rabbit holes too.
I was going to say about those rabbit holes, they're the sort of rabbit holes that we're going to be doing on the Discord channel. So ETC After That Dark, ETC After Dark, that is the rabbit hole channels. We're not going to do it on.
I don't want about gravity
because we obviously get banned. We get banned a lot. We've been banned on Facebook, banned on TikTok. We've been banned for having the rabbit hole conversations, but that is for the Discord. So if you want to have those conversations, head over to the Discord and join us. Michael, what was that?
So I got one on gravity. It's a weird, quite opening as well, because a lot of theories I don't really even look into. But I see one the other day about gravity. So Isaac Newton first said about it in 1687 when supposedly the apple fell from the tree, made him start thinking about gravity. But there is a theory that gravity used to be a lot less back in the day, which would explain how the pyramids were built, because those massive bricks, well, not bricks, but massive blocks. So if gravity was lesser back in the day, it would explain how they did that. Like humans did that, like put them together. Also, millions of years ago, dinosaurs were a lot bigger. And they had, like the ones that could fly but were still massive, had smaller wings. Like ostriches nowadays have got wings but can't fly because the gravity is too much. Whereas way back then, if the gravity was less, it would mean that they'd had less resistance, so then they could then take off. So the idea is that gravity got stronger.
Michael, what have you done? Okay, this is right. This is brilliant. I'm going to make a note of that. So gravity apparently was lighter back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
from Michael, can I just ask?
It was just a theory I see on. To be fair, it was on TikTok, but it was just like
how you just it does kind of justify it. Does make sense. Like you've explained it pretty well. Gravity.
Yeah, normally I would have just skipped past that, but I was like, oh, actually, because I'd heard this guy talking about other stuff before, and I was just like, oh, you fucking idiot. But this one, I was like, hang on,
okay,
that would actually make sense.
Okay, so that kind of how you just explained it has now made me believe that is possible. It could possibly have been true. We're gonna have to. If that, yeah, I'm prepared to go down that rabbit hole. I like that. I wanna go. But you've just sparked in me, Michael, my curiosity, and there, you know what it is. So I don't even care if I'm wrong if I go down it. Say that again.
But the thing is, like,
sorry.
I mean, it's a really hard one.
I suppose there's no way of actually proving it because no one alive today was around back then. Now, the only way, I suppose, is if anyone right now has been recording it, they will be able to say, yes, it has changed, I suppose. The gravitational pull or field is getting more and more, which is, I suppose, maybe... Nah, I shouldn't really say that because it could just be my age or my stage. What I'm saying is I did used to feel a lot lighter as a child, but that's because obviously I was lighter as a child, like physically smaller. I was a child, but but when I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders, not as like the normal way of saying that
Maybe that's
saying.
where that saying comes from. 'Cause they
Yeah,
have the
because
weight
like
of the world on their
some days,
shoulders, building the
some days I
pyramids.
do, some days I do wake up and I feel the Earth's energy a lot heavier than other times. Now I don't know if that's gravity or if it's just like pressure or
Have you
from the
got proper
atmosphere.
underwear
I don't
on?
know. Have I got my underwear on?
Copper underwear.
Oh, copper underwear. Yeah. Makes my gonads and cock groanings.
Oh God, really? Right.
Oh no, right. This is after dark. We're not having this chat here
No,
now.
no,
Like we're going
no.
into right. Join us if you like how we're light-hearted. You've got to join us on the Discord. Otherwise, if we continued like this, we'd get kicked off. So we got to be sensitive.
Like we did on TikTok like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, Liz. I know you're the freedom fighter of the group. You're the one out there, mainly on the I wouldn't say riots. What do they call it? Protests? Yeah, you're a protester. You're waving your banners, and I love you for that. Any news on like current affairs on?
Well, we had like last week. We had obviously like Sadiq Khan has been trying to implement and really, really promote and push these ultra low emission zones in London, which is causing like it's going to cause a lot of congestion and like traffic and like delays and all sorts. Like the 20 mile per hour zones and the basically, you're getting charged to go into these low emission zones. And there was like a high court case because some local authorities basically deemed it unlawful and didn't want to implement it in their areas. And Sadiq Khan actually had the court decide in his favour, so he won the case to be able to go ahead to implement the ULEZ. And so current affairs in the freedom fighting world is sort of trying to stop the ULEZ and just fighting against it and just trying to make sure that we come together really and stand up and try and not have this become a part of our lives, because I think we have enough craziness going on the news and in the world, all the different color charts on the weather and the and they're just everything just seems to be a little bit like nowadays. And I'm not very happy with the whole Sadiq Khan thing. It doesn't really affect me too much because I don't live in London, but I have a lot of friends and colleagues and stuff that do work in London, and I just think that it's something that we have to just keep fighting against. And I always just sit there and think, like, where do these ideas come from? Like, I know like politics is corrupt and stuff, and I don't want to be like negative about stuff, but I'm just trying to kind of like be real about stuff. And also some people have no idea like these things are being implemented. So it's good to know things, and it's good to like understand what's going on and what's being pushed on us, because if we are aware of what's being pushed on us, then that's how we can then learn to get around it, fight back against it, like band together with other people, become a collective, and try and like really show them that the only way they're going to be able to charge us is if we allow them, and if we pay the fines and allow them to kind of restrict us in that way. And we don't want to be restricted. We're living human beings. We want to be free, right? That's what we're here to do, and roam the land. So having to feel like we have got to go 20 mile an hour in certain zones and like pay so much a day just to drive in London, I just think it's crazy.
£12.50.
Yeah, so I just can't work out how the money is going to actually change the climate. So how, like, this is where I didn't learn this in maths, by the way. So somebody's going to have to, if there's a mathematician watching us and they can like actually explain this is sarcasm coming out, but just bear with me, guys. So how does, by charging somebody £12.50 or £10, whatever it is, I think it's £12.50 a day, How does that change the effect of the emissions coming out of the cars?
It
So
doesn't. It's meant to be us, but I think it's meant to be like a deterrent to buy in
Yes.
cars that give off high emissions. I understand it, because if they were to just completely stop cars with high emissions coming through, it puts a massive halt on the flow of the economy, because a lot of vehicles that were only available when these businesses started up were ultra high emission vehicles. Now, the incentive is, I suppose, try and create a smog-less environment. So, we don't have to walk around with masks on all the time in up areas, because if we were to have all of these emissions creating this gassy smog in especially a populated in place like London, it'd cause a lot of health issues. So how do we stop that? Now, we can't do it, like I said, immediately, simply because a lot of the productivity of the economy would halt. So I suppose implementing the ULEZ charge would yes, piss a lot of people off, especially if you're paying £12.50 a day, especially if you're doing like 2 trips a day.
And that's just for cars, that's not for vans. It's more expensive than vans.
It's more expensive.
Yeah, it also affects the businesses though in those areas, because stopping all of the people coming in, it's affecting the whole flow of life.
But imagine if it was only like £2 or £4, it's not going to really sting the wallet. It's not going to put a hole in the pocket. But if it was £80, it definitely would. Like,
it's the lower income of society. It's the poorer people that it will affect the most, because and also if people forget to pay it, they're then going to get £80 fines, PCNs coming from their door. And I just think that unless there's like mass non-payment of these PCNs, that's the only way. Then maybe the likes of Sadiq Khan will be like, okay, people aren't going along with it. This isn't going to work. We can't do it. But anyway, I just in the freedom fighting world, that's where we're at with the ULEZ. So either won and is doing crazy madness on London, and we're all trying to continue to push back, fight back, and
at the end of the day, you are the freedom fighter, and I love you for that. Keep your ear to the street, because you're right. There are people who are not paying attention, and they kind of want us to not pay attention, simply because then at any given moment they can slip in a little corrupt law, and because no one's paying attention, they're like, well, you voted for us, you put us in this position. So if the vote's been passed in Parliament, then we're allowed to implement it. But because people like yourself, Liz, pay attention, you're witnessing it, even if it's something like ULEZ, as minor as ULEZ, you're still paying attention to it, because that will then let them know we're still watching you. Yeah, so don't think for 1 second you could pull a fast one on us, because there's people like you, Liz, who are not going to let it fly. And for the rest of us, we're backing you and we love you. So yeah, it's always good to know. So thanks, Liz.
That's just a little update. So keep it about you people.
Right, on updates, I know we're coming to the end of the episode. So what is special about today? Well, the first thing is it's National Mutt Day, ladies and gentlemen. So that means mutts and mixed breed dogs. It's your day. It's National Mutt Day. So if you have a dog and it's mixed breed, give it a kiss. Let it know it's your day. What else? It's Harry Potter's birthday today. For all you Harry Potter fans, probably already know that. But there you go. Michael's holding up. You're sniggering like, no, I'm a Hufflepuff.
No,
I've done the questionnaire 3 times, and I'm a Hufflepuff on 3 different questionnaires, and so there you go.
Oh, well, I've done a test. I was in Harry Potter.
Was you?
I'm out of this conversation. I think I've watched a couple of films, but I've never read any of the books. So is that really bad?
Oh, not at all. But here's an interesting fact. J.K. Rowling's birthday is the same. So happy birthday, J.K. Rowling. Today it's her birthday, 31st of July. So, yeah.
I like J.K. Rowling. I like how she speaks up. Yes, J.K. with you.
So what else is special about today? Well, today is National Avocado Day as well. So for all you avocado lovers out there, myself included, today is National Avocado Day. So there you go. It's also International Lifeguard Appreciation Day. So
Where do you get all of this from? Brilliant.
if you know any lifeguards, let them know they're appreciated, especially today.
David Handlehoff.
Right. It's National Diana Day as well. So the only Diana I've ever known is Princess Diana. I don't know any other Dianas, but it is actually their day today as well. So if you know a Diana, let her know. Happy day for you. And Liz, you're going to love this last one. It is National Raspberry Cake Day today.
Yay!
So people who love cake, today was Raspberry Cake Day. So yeah, there you go. Right.
I love that. And what's so special about today is that we are on here right now.
Yeah, after 3 weeks of being on a break. Just for
we've had a bit of a break, so we are back, and it feels really, really good to be back. We really miss you guys, and we really are grateful for you guys tuning in, every single one of you. Like I said before, we've reached 440 subscribers on the YouTube. We're growing on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and all the other places you can listen to. So Spotify, ETC After Dark is up and running. So if you want to join our Discord channel, get over to Discord, find us, ETC After Dark, and be part of it, because we'll be having those conversations, those rabbit holes, we'll be going down them and posting. It's a place where you can just post what you want that we talk about and see where it goes. I want to have some conversations with you guys, the viewers, the listeners. So it's there. Liz, Michael, really good to be back, innit? Good to see you guys. I love you guys. It has. Yeah. So, right, I'm going to end it there. So from me, Liz and Michael, thank you guys again, all the viewers. Really, really appreciate you. Liz, Michael, is there anything else you want to add to tonight's episode before we say goodbye?
No, just thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Get over to Discord.
Yeah.
And show us your plants.
Yes.
Next time, yes.
Next time. Right. From me, Liz and Michael, everyone everywhere, peace and love.
Peace and love.